this whole series, dude, like it just plants these like seeds of like what's going on, what's gonna happen, where are they going, like what are these big things that are gonna be going on. Like there's so many unfinished loops, bro. Welcome back to episode 5 of my series of reviewing Heavenly Delusion. This is the 5th episode, so if you have not watched episode 5, highly recommend going and watching that or watching all the other videos prior. With that being said, I want to jump right on in just to make sure we get there. So at the beginning, we see the series of one of the main characters playing this video game. Like he's just having a good time, and some people come in and they give him a hard time of like, why are you only like, what do we have here? It's just like Crocodile, like, why are you only using 2 people when you could use 4? And it's just like, because sometimes all you really need is 2 people. Plus, it's his own journey of what he's going on with his partner, with his like protector, his bodyguard. They end up only having 2 people that end up going on the journey with him. So when he's playing the video game, he only has 2 people playing the video game. Maybe you yourself have also played other video games in your life, and like maybe you have a full team of like 5 people. It's like, okay, perfect. Like that means that you probably have a bigger team and surrounding of you in the actual world. Or maybe you've only ever played games that are like solo player. Like I myself have only ever played Mario, so a lot of my life has only ever been like me trying to save or find my princess. Like that's been my journey. It's like been my own like thing, and maybe I'll have other people that come along to help me out, to like guide me down these different roads and pathways. And that's always been something that I've done. But I just don't like how like in this series, like all he's doing is just like, if you're gonna play here, you better speak when spoken to. He's like, he's just wanting to play this game. Like, that's all it is. Like, he just wants to play the game. He doesn't want to do anything. And then, like, somebody, like, he just ends up kicking the dude. And she's like, oh, sorry, like, I didn't mean to do that. It's like, don't just kick somebody for saying that. He ends up apologizing, but then he ends up getting, like, kicked in the face afterwards. They end up having this whole brawl. He has a smile of, like, all right, well, this is going to be fun. And then he gets all serious and excited and ends up, like, beating up, like, 6 other dudes. I still don't know, dude. Like, I still don't know. He ends up coming back in. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to say she from now on to keep things a lot more simple for us moving forward, instead of saying she, he, but like we'll just say that it's a she because I believe that it's a she because she looks like a she, so we're just going to say that it's a she. Done deal. So it's just like, oh, well, you came in and just bulldozed in, like having no clue, like she ended up taking out the other dude. And it's just like, whoa, why would you bulldoze in? It's just like, I don't think that you were the type of person who would just like go out looking for fights, because that's never been who it is. So who knows? Maybe like they would be calling backup if she didn't end up taking out that other dude. They end up getting further away so that they don't have those same people end up coming back. Find out that there's like a lot of other books in this other room, which this is something that I want you to notice. Like when she ends up coming back, she's like freaking out of like where he was. And it's just like he was next door trying to look at the magazines. He ended up finding what is it? It shows it, I'm pretty sure, right here. Yeah, so he was looking at like this magazine, which if you want to do these magazines, like cool. Like I say, don't do it. Like it can kind of be a little bit of like it's a vice that I'd say you want to get rid of and actually like go out into the world. But a lot of the times people don't see it that way, and they're just gonna be talking and trying to like persuade you. It's like I can feel something hard. It's like, you can't blame me. I was already halfway. And it's just like, wait, I wasn't halfway anywhere. But even so, see, and that's where I'm like, this is totally, it's a chick, dude. It's a chick, bro. Like, that's just all it is. Like, you can't say anything otherwise. But they end up having this whole long conversation about things. Like, the doctor finds out that, like, somebody else was in the lab, which is interesting. And you can see, like, he notices that this is the baby that in that form. Where is it? It's right there. So like you can kind of see that it does turn into like a normal like adult looking thing at that point, but like it's still in like the alien-esque form, which I don't know where these aliens are coming from. I don't know how they ended up getting here in the first place. More unanswered questions. There's always so many unanswered questions. One of the persons, like, they're dancing, they're having fun. He's trying to figure out like who was the one that ended up going down, because they're trying to wake up that other person that was all sick in the bed. But it's like, sorry, the kid ended up dying, and from that same disease that we saw in the last episode. They end up giving like their condolences to each and every single one of the childs, closing the door and like continuing on with the way. Grandma ends up finding her path, and like there's this whole different world down here as well too, of like this other child that also ended up dying, which we're gonna get into that in later episodes. This whole series, dude, like it just plants these like seeds of like what's going on, what's gonna happen, where are they going, like what are these big things that are going to be going on. Like there's so many unfinished loops, bro, and it's kind of frustrating to me, because I'm like, I I don't want to have to go out and have to read the manga personally. I'm like, I could, but it's just like, is the manga going to just give me questions, or is it going to give me answers, or is it just going to leave me with more questions? It's like, I don't know. Could give me a bit of both, but it's just like, there's so many open loops that are just happening in the anime. And it's just like, I want answers to all of these. I want all of these to be answered. I want them to be, but like they aren't. And I'm like, okay, well, this is good that it gets me in there. And maybe this is why like the rank has increased, because when I first started watching this, it was at 369, and the rank now has gone up by 6 points, or down by 6 points, I guess that would be. So like, it's still good. Like it's an overall good anime, but there's just so many different like aspects that I'm just like, dude, like, yes, thank you for getting me thinking. Thank you for like letting me see these things in a different way, but also at the same time, like, close up some fucking loops, bro. There's so many open loops, and I wanted to find answers, but it's like, of course I'm not going to find answers in 12 episodes. Of course they aren't going to make it to. We'll get into that later, but yeah, I'm going to touch on that in the next episode. These videos may be getting shorter. They may be getting longer. Some episodes have more to talk about than others. This episode, personally, I didn't feel like it had that much to talk about, other than like noticing and realizing that like sometimes everybody, like, people are there, they're caring for you, they support you, they still want to help you out. There's more mysteries. One of the kids died. Like, why did the other kid die in the first place? He gets sick. She ends up going on this different like little road trip thing. This guy comes over trying to promise him like that, like, so that he can be his bodyguard, because he was on the ship, because he wanted to be able to find like the thing that he has so that he could share it with everybody, because it was like one of the man-eaters. And then it's like, oh, sloppy, and oh no, it didn't end up working. So then he gets all sad. He ends up staying there, and it's just this whole vicious cycle back and forth. And it's just like the grandma has to see, or the wife has to see, like, what ended up happening. So I'm wondering, like, this also happened to the other person that had that disease. I'm like, what is this? I don't know what this is. Do you know what this is? I don't know what this is. There's probably lore behind it, but it's just like, there's so many unanswered questions in this anime, and it frustrates me. It frustrates me a lot, because I want answers. I'm somebody that likes answers, and yet there's another unanswered question. So maybe there's answers sometime later, but I've watched all the episodes. No, I'm sharing you with all these episodes. Maybe you have answers. If you do, let me know down in the comments. If not, you can subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next video.